Hey, welcome everyone to the Healthy Brain Podcast. Today, the episode, a new way to approach stress as a pathway to transformation. So I wanted this episode to be not just here are the effects of stress, which many people know, but I'm going to go over some of the more specific physiological responses to stress that our body experiences. And I also just didn't want to give you, here are ways to manage stress, but in addition, I want to really dive into how can you make exposure to stress a pathway to transformation. And we'll get further into that a little bit later in this episode. First off, I want to invite you to join my fall reset group. It is for the whole month of September and it's free. It's a private group that I'm hosting where you'll get a cozy digital workbook, and also, I'll be going live with coaching once a week, guided meditation and breath work, and yoga classes. You'll also get tips on incorporating longevity nutrition, stress management, daily movement, self-care tips, decluttering our space, and a lot more. So I hope you'll join me. It's the link to join is in the show notes. All right, let's get into this. So let's just go over. I just want to review a few of the physiological responses to stress. So our heart rate increases. There's an increase in blood pressure, in respiration rate. Our muscles are primed for action with an increase of blood to the muscles when we're in a stressed state. Our brain becomes really alert and hyper vigilant in some ways, and almost like a tunnel vision. Our immune system decreases. Now that's not very good when you're in a stressful situation. You definitely don't want to have a compromised or a lower immune system. Our digestive system can be deactivated with stressful situations. There's an increase in glucose in the bloodstream. Our cortisol levels increase. Adrenaline is released. Our metabolism slows down. Our sleep could be impaired. And specifically in the cells, there's damage to the mitochondria, and mitochondria helps to give cells energy. It's sort of the powerhouse of the cell. So that also isn't good because you'll probably feel really drained after a stressful situation and stressful circumstances. So not only do we want to cope with stress, but we want to use stress as a pathway for transformation. First off, I want to share how to manage stress. And some of these you may have already known of, but others you may be, oh, that's interesting. Hopefully, you'll gain some tips and tricks to manage your stress and why we're doing these steps. So first off, you have to become aware that you are stressed. Some people just think they always need to be on, and that's just how they are. They're always sort of in a heightened state, and they have a difficult time noticing when they're stressed. When I teach a yoga class, I'll have people come in or after the class say, "Oh, I didn't realize I was so tense or stressed. I feel so relaxed now." So they weren't even aware of the stress. It can be very insidious. Now, the idea with physical steps, so approaching stress with here are some actionable steps. And I'm sure you've heard of some of these. In one way, we want to regulate the nervous system. So we want to down regulate, we want to shift to a parasympathetic state. And we do this by breath work exercises, yoga, meditation, somatic movement, somatic healing techniques, myofascial release, being out in nature. All of these shift our nervous system to more of a parasympathetic nervous or a parasympathetic state. And our blood pressure reduces, respiration reduces, our heart rate reduces when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So this has been proven. We know that these are very important, and it's really something to do every day to have some form of some tool in order that you can apply when you're feeling stressed, but also just to consistently have some form of a nervous system regulation practice. Now, the other way to approach stress is the mental approach. This is shifting and changing our mindset through reframing, shifting perspective, looking at things in different ways. These can be explored through coaching tools, in therapy, and self-exploration. This is definitely an area that I emphasize in my coaching program. A mental or mindset shift, really reframing how we think about things, can propel us to take the correct action or to take the action that can then lower our stress. Also, in my group coaching, I go into depth in the breathing exercises, the yoga, the lifestyle choices. That's another aspect of managing stress is our lifestyle choices. Our sleep impacts our stress, our ability to manage stress. The amount of exercise we have in a day will affect our ability to manage stress. The types of nutrition, our social interaction, just those are some of the lifestyle things to keep in mind that could be impacting your ability to manage stress. Let's talk about, after you know about what you can do, let's look at this as far as transformation and stress as a pathway to transformation. Beginning like with our bodies, they're meant to fluctuate between a stressful situation and non-stressful. So you're experiencing a situation, it's causing you to experience stress symptoms. And then our body is supposed to go back to like non-stress, sort of that parasympathetic, relaxed rest. And often when many of us are stuck in chronic stress or in the middle of not completely recovering, we're in sort of this middle ground, and you never quite feel like you're not stressed. You're always on. And I think many parents, especially those of school age children, know this state, but regardless, we are in a very stressed culture right now, and with all of the opportunities to be stressed out, it's really important to be intentional in how we can recover and how we can manage our stress. So for me, this definitely was the case where I was in chronic stress and I could not shift out of it. I didn't really know how to shift out of it. I had been practicing yoga, but it wasn't on a consistent basis. And imagine raising four kids. I was working full time at the hospital setting, renovating a house, definitely feeling stress 24/7. And what I experienced is with the transformation, when I applied some of these tools, I shifted and I created this cognitive resilience. And because of the challenges that I experienced in my past, and because I was able to shift into really embracing the situations and learning from them and shifting and knowing how I could downregulate my nervous system at the time of feeling immense stress, that has served me very well. because I stepped into these opportunities for transformation as I look back at it now. At the time, I didn't realize it, but as I've been coaching people and going through different challenges, even now, it's not saying that you don't get rid of the stress, but you're able to manage the stress better. And because I was consistent back then, I started to practice meditation, breath work, all the lifestyle shifts. And that's why these are all part of my group coaching program. The lifestyle shifts, such as sleep and nutrition and movement, and more importantly, reframing my mindset with coaching tools. I was able to transform my life, and I continue to transform it even today. I look back at the many challenges and difficulties that I've experienced as opportunities, and those were opportunities that I became who I am right now. I'm resilient, I'm capable, confident, and empowered. So I offer this to you. Instead of running away from the stress, let's learn to embrace it and use the physical and mental tools that I provided today. Really use them. Don't wait for, because it won't ever really come unless you go to a isolated island. Don't wait for the stress to go away, because there will always be something else coming up. Instead, look at how can I use the tools, some of them that I explained today, and how can I start applying them now in order to develop this cognitive resilience and this overall resilience to become a person who can shift in and out of stress, manage the stress, relax when you need to, and have really a flexible system. So, if you'd like to dive deeper into this, there's two options. Like I mentioned, there is my fall reset group that I'm hosting for the month of September, but there's also a coaching consultation. You can set that up through a link in the show notes. And I look forward to talking with you one on one and helping you to manage through this life that we've been given. Have a great day, everyone.